Good time of the day to anyone who is gonna be watching this. So, I found myself enjoying doing the previous tier list regarding the horror movies, and I thought that there are a lot of things that I could do, like maybe ranking my all time favorite games and stuff like that, but then I just remembered that today when I was out, I was listening to one of those albums. I will say which one exactly, and I enjoyed it actually. I haven't listened to like this kind of heavy music for a while now. I'm mostly Breaking Benjamin type of a person lately. But I checked out this deathcore album, and it definitely was a throwback to the good old times. For anyone who knows my channel, or who ever seen my channel, or who is subscribed for that matter, you probably know that it started basically mostly as a musical channel, not as a gaming channel. I just switched to gaming, but in the past I've been in bands, and I've been doing like some collabs with people all over the world. I have stuff posted on my YouTube. You can check it out if you haven't. Like I've been in deathcore bands, also in melodic death metal bands, and like different kind of stuff. Yeah, so, and there are a lot of covers also of my own. But anyway, I decided just to do this kind of a video just for fun, because again, I kind of enjoyed doing it the last time with the movies, and now I think I'm gonna be doing this, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing this a lot, like in particular regarding the music, because there are a lot of stuff even today, like the albums that I chose. I'm not sure that they are the most significant ones that I want to add to this tier list. I just don't remember, because I haven't been listening to deathcore and such like heavy music for lately. I mean, the heaviest I've been listening to was melodic death metal, and it's kind of close, but at the same time it's not, especially with some of the albums that I'm gonna show you. If you are into this kind of music, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So, first one, great album. It's King Conqueror. Dang, I just forgot the a day late, a dollar short, or something. Just a second. What was the name of the album? King Conqueror, not 1776. It's the second album. Yes, it's the America's Most Haunted. So it's a basically great deathcore album. I can't recommend it more. This vocalist, I don't remember his name. I knew it definitely, but he is great. He has very great, like very amazing, very great. No one says that. I mean, he has amazing lows and great highs, so great screams. There is no like pop type of singing here. You know, I'm kind of an old type of person, like old music type of person, so I'm not gonna be listing some fucking, things like, I don't know, there's this Russian fucking metal deathcore band apparently, which is so good. There are a lot of fans in the US. I'm not a fan, neither of a vocalist, and especially not of their music. But King Conqueror is something else. In my opinion, this is the definition of true deathcore, because it has hardcore, it has death metal, and it also has melodic death metal. So easily my top 10, one of the best albums I've ever heard. This one and the other one also. I'm gonna put this into the S tier, because this is one of the probably heaviest albums ever that I enjoyed. Because even when I was into this thing, like when I was in bands and when I was listening mostly to like heavy music, I kind of didn't like tech death stuff or black metal. Never was into it, and I'm not saying that this is close to tech death, but it's not technical death. It's a deathcore, definitely. As I said, definition of deathcore. but it's very heavy. Like if you listen to it, you will understand what I'm talking about. And still, I enjoyed every moment of it. I didn't have a tendency to, revisit the too heavy, like too heavy of an album, for example. But this one I listened a lot to, and the reason that I didn't remember the album name actually is because I was just running it on automation. I was just putting it on, and I didn't care. I knew it's King Conqueror. I didn't care. I don't know. I still don't know the name of most of the tracks because I'm just listening through it with and with most of my favorite bands it's the case. With some it's not. With some it is, but still, this album great. The second album, this is the first. Technically, this is 1776 is their first album, and America's Most Haunted is the second album. But it's still, they are both very good, amazing albums. Same thing. The old one may be a little bit more raw. I wouldn't say that this is more, softer or something. Raw in terms of production, probably. Although both of them have been recorded on Media Scare or Media Scar, whatever the name of the label is. It's a very high level label. A lot of great bands there were and still are recording on that via that label. Anyway, both of those albums, and I'll tell you right off the bat, as soon as I tried to check the Welcome to Hell and this Decomposing Normality EP, I think Decomposing Normality consists of some of the songs of this album. Oh, actually, I made a mistake. This one is the second album. This one is not second. You know what I'm talking about. This was earlier than this. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that I think this consisted some songs that then were listed in this album. But the production again was the problem for me, I think, and this one I didn't enjoy at all. I think they had a different vocalist back then, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not the point. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that those two albums, I'm vouching for them, they're amazing. So, next one is a little bit more interesting, because some of you, if you're listening to the music, not even particularly deathcore or some heavy music, core music, you may have heard of a band which name is Bring Me the Horizon. One of the, nowadays it's kind of a popular band. I think it's pop rock or whatever. It's some soft genre that I'm not a fan of. It's not that I'm not a fan of the genre. I don't like their take on it. So I never listened to their newer stuff. However, if you didn't know, if you never heard of it, back in 2006, around 20 years ago, 19, maybe 18 years ago anyway, around 19 years ago, Bring Me the Horizon released their first album, and it was heavy as fuck. It was deathcore, bro, and it was one of the best deathcore albums ever. It was this one. I think its name is Count Your Blessings, right? Count Your Blessings. Just a second. I have to check everything again for... Yes, it is the studio album. Yeah, the name is Count Your Blessings, and it's... Again, the same deal with King Conqueror. I didn't remember the name of the album because I didn't care. I listened to it maybe 100 of times. I just loved this album. It had some amazing stuff there. This was one of the greatest, in my opinion, still one of the greatest deathcore albums out there. Forever. It's already in history. It made its name. And it's, on one hand, it is kind of disappointing to see Bring Me the Horizon nowadays being this pop band, popular, among 15-year-olds and stuff. No hate for 15 years old. I mean, it's just, I know the taste of newer generation. That's why I'm saying this, and I don't like it, to be honest. And it changed a lot in the music industry, but still, on one hand, it's kind of sad to see them going this route. On the other hand, to be honest, for doing this album, in my opinion, this 2006 deathcore album, they deserve all the credit in the world. And if they can make millions now by doing the thing that they're doing now, all power to them, respect for that, because most of those bands, for example King Conqueror, it's one of the greatest band I've ever heard, but I know that they're no longer like doing stuff. They no longer exist. They just basically disbanded, and I don't think any of them got any credit for the great job that they've done, and most of those bands unfortunately didn't get the credit. So Bring Me the Horizon, Count Your Blessings 2006, easily S tier out of all my favorite albums. It would be probably out of deathcore genre. This would be like number 3, like in top 3. So great, check it out if you're a fan of heavy music, deathcore in particular. I recommend it, can't recommend it more. Let's continue. So overall, I don't think any of those albums will be anything less than S, to be honest. Nah, there are a couple, but still, I mean, As Blood Runs Black, Allegiance, 2006, right? Shit, I don't remember the year anyway. It is a masterpiece. This is gonna be also one of my top 3 albums. I would put it there because this is just such an amazing album. It's a hit after hit after hit. You're just listening this album on rewind without even like thinking about switching to something else, because it's so great. It's so well thought out. It's an amazing album. I just can't recommend this more. If you're a fan of heavy music overall, if you're a fan of deathcore, then you probably heard it, and it's impossible at this point not to know who As Blood Runs Black is and what this album is. And still, if you haven't, can't recommend it more, go listen. So the next one is a little bit like an underground, I would say, maybe, because so this band is I Saw the Beer Once. It's a band, a female fronted band. When I saw it the first time when this album released, I think it was around 2009 or 2010, I was just so surprised. I was shocked by the sounds that this little girl with a mic makes. This is, I don't know, one of the lowest guttural like growls and screams, like highest screams that I've ever heard. These vocals were just fucking amazing, just insane. And the music, the combination between, like, it's kind of a comedy deathcore probably, because it consists of some jazz parts, then pop music parts, and then death metal, and then the core breakdowns and everything like that. The first time I heard it, I was just blown away, bro. So this one I'm not listening and never listened to often, but I think this would be definitely in my top, not 10, but there are 12 of them I think overall, but or 11. But anyway, this is it's 10. It's actually 10. Yeah, this album is great. Also to all fans of deathcore, especially modern deathcore, who listen to those bands like what was that fucking Russian band that I mentioned before? Several new deathcore bands that, in my opinion, don't deserve this much credit they are getting. Instead, go listen to these albums. They definitely do. And this one of them, I would put it into A tier, just because, probably even B, just because I didn't listen to it that many times. It wasn't on rewind, but I definitely gave it a try from time to time, and I enjoyed most of it. So it's also a great album. So the next album is the Black Dahlia Murder. Not the Black Dahlia Murder, sorry, As Blood Runs Black. We'll get to Black Dahlia. I didn't include Black Dahlia. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I love Black Dahlia, but it probably wouldn't be in my top 10 list, yes. But anyway, next one is As Blood Runs Black. I think next album after Allegiance, 2010. Jokingly, people call it Obama core, because the new vocalist that they got, I think it was the new vocalist, different from the one on the Allegiance. He looked like Obama, literally, like the President Obama, and yeah. But the music, the vocals, everything is, the level of production is, everything is so good on this album. And this was the album that I've been listening to today. Then I switched to Allegiance. It was a great fucking walk, listening to those. And this one, although not as good as Allegiance, definitely deserves A, because I would put it in S, but in S I prefer to put things that include all the hit songs, on it. This one, not quite. Like, there are a couple of, things that I would skip. Still, a great album, amazing experience. I recommend again to everyone who likes deathcore, who listens to heavy music overall. Let's continue. So the next one is Hester Prynne, the Goswell Divorce. It's from 2006. Great album. I enjoyed it a lot back in the day. I gave it a try some time ago, but it didn't work for me. I will definitely check it out tomorrow, probably, or the day after tomorrow. I'll just give it a try again. I was just probably not in the mood to listen to core back at the moment, but anyway, I know that I highly regarded this album back in the day when I was listening to this kind of music. Definitely a unique album. Again, unfortunately, one of those bands who didn't get much credit for what they did. This is one of the greatest albums in deathcore, definitely. But this band is no more, unfortunately, and yeah, we have what we have, but still, highly recommend checking it out. So the next one is my number one favorite deathcore album of all time. I would definitely put it in any tier list, probably even among most genres of music. It's probably one of my favorite albums of all times, of all genres. So this would be probably in my all-time, all-genre top 3 list. This is All Shall Perish, A Price of Existence. If you're listening to deathcore, you already know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you definitely should go give it a try. You never heard deathcore if you haven't heard this. Like, The Price of Existence, All Shall Perish, enough said, not gonna continue. If you don't know what it is, you haven't heard deathcore. Anyway, another 2 last albums. So it's The Spice Tycoon, The Ills of Modern Man. And to be honest, when I think about this album, I think it would compete with The Price of Existence for the first place, because it's such a great, amazing album. This is also a definition of deathcore, what it should sound like, what it should be. It is death metal, hardcore, like everything there should be in a deathcore album. And it also has amazing vocalists, all ranges included, high screams, high pitched screams, medium tonality, laws, everything is just fucking amazing. So I highly recommend this album. Is just filled with hits like A Fractured Hand, Hateful Monologue. I cannot remember more, to be honest, because again, Arms of Perdition or something like that. I just love this album. We even with my band covered one of the songs once. Was it probably Hateful Monologue or something like that? I don't even remember the name exactly, but it's one of the best albums in deathcore, period. Definitely. If you haven't heard it, you should go check it out. And the last one is also The Spice Tycoon. So this one is from 2005. I don't remember the name, unfortunately. 2005. The healing process. So yeah. Anyway, so the healing process, I love this album. It is cool, it's great. It's a little bit of a different vibe that no, not D, definitely not D. A little bit different vibe that than their later art, but it's still very good. Again, the Ills of Modern Man is the best of what they've done, but this one I'll put in B tier. Definitely great album, not as great that the Use of Modern Man though. I don't know why I needed this tier list, because there is also C and D, and none of the bands that I've like talked about today will be in here, because I prefer not to listen to garbage, you know. And yeah, I mean, this kind of videos, I don't know if I'll make anymore. Just make it for fun. So yeah, I'll just put it on my YouTube, because I know there are some people involved in music, who is subscribed to me. I'm subscribed to them. Maybe they will see it. Maybe they will give like some feedback, you know. But anyway, either way, thanks for watching. Whoever saw this, yeah, I'll be playing Silent Hill 2 tomorrow, streaming again, and I'll probably make this kind of video, but with games at some point. Just again, as always, not that I care a lot if like many people saw this or not. I'm just making this for an archive, you know, for myself. But if someone saw this, like, then great. Thanks for watching. Anyway, see you.